More now on the countdown to the showdown between Donald Trump and New York Attorney General Letitia James. In 24 hours, James can begin seizing Trump's assets if he does not come up with a bond in the $454 million fraud judgment. Trump also plans to attend a hearing in the hush money case in person, where he might hear directly from a judge if he will become the first former U.S. president to face criminal trial. Joining me now, Dave Aronberg, former member of the Florida Senate, now state attorney for Palm Beach County. Dave, welcome. I'm glad to talk with you about this. First question here. I'm curious what you're hearing in Trump's home district there. Are there any concerns over whether New York could acquire ownership of Mar-a-Lago? And if that were to happen, would your office be involved?
Good to be with you, Alex. Our office would not be involved, and I think Mar-a-Lago could be on the table, but that's the last place Trump would ever allow anyone to get their hands on, because that's where he lives. It's his baby, his pride and joy. He's going to lay his body down in front of the gate so no one gets in. So I do think Letitia James is going to put everything on the table as a possibility, but I don't think that is the top priority. I think she's going to go to the assets that are in place in New York, such as the one on Wall Street or in Westchester County first. But look, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that one day the collectors are coming to the doors of Mar-a-Lago.
That's extraordinary. So what would New York's Attorney General be focusing on today? And what could she do first if Trump defaults tomorrow?
Well, she's already started to put things in motion in Westchester County, filing the paperwork to put liens on his properties there. Now, she didn't have to do that in New York City because the judgment was there, and so it's executed automatically there. But in other communities outside of New York City, she has to go ahead and file the liens, and she's already starting to do so. But on Monday, tomorrow, if Trump does not come up with a cash or the surety bond, then it's game on. Then she is going to move ahead to start the process of seizing the properties. So it is a huge day tomorrow for Donald Trump. This is his brand. This is who he is. And that's why I think that he's going to try everything he can. That's why we have to be really nervous about whether he seeks foreign intervention here. The one thing on that, though, Alex, is that there's someone named Barbara Jones. She's the caretaker of the company for the judge, for Judge Engoron. She's being actually paid by Donald Trump, but she is a court-assigned babysitter for Donald Trump's company, and she is now empowered to let us all know who is funding these surety bonds. So that's important for us for full disclosure.
Yeah, absolutely. You've seen him make a series of somewhat conflicting claims, right? First, he doesn't have enough cash. Then he can't make the bond because 30 companies won't work with him. Then he says he's got $500 million in cash. Does any of this surprise you, considering the wealth that he attracts at Mar-a-Lago? To the point you were just making, there could be people there who might pool their money together and bail him out.
Yeah, anything is possible. This is why being his lawyer is so maddening, because on one end, his lawyers are at the appeals court saying, please give us more time to come up with the money because we don't have it, or lower the bond amount so that we could post $100 million instead of $464 million. And on the other end, Donald Trump is saying, I've got $500 million. I'm loaded. I'm all good. So you know his lawyers are pulling their hair out right now. And that is part of the frustration, because they're talking out both sides of their mouths. And so I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I know from what I hear is he's working the phones to try to get that money. Because if he doesn't, he either has to put up the cash or the surety bond, or else Letitia James can move ahead with seizing properties. Now, here's another important point. No matter what happens tomorrow, Trump can continue to appeal the underlying judgment, but he just can't stop the seizure of the properties from taking place. Yeah,
good point. The New York Times is pointing out that the hush money case and the fraud judgment both represent two of Donald Trump's greatest fears. First, a criminal conviction, and secondly, the public perception that he does not have as much cash as he claims. And I'm not even sure that that's in the proper order there. Do his political and personal fortunes hinge on what happens in these cases?
I actually think the civil case matters more to Trump, because his whole brand is that he's this successful billionaire. Let's run the government like a business. But what if you have to declare a personal bankruptcy? What if your claim to be a billionaire is not true and you can't have you don't have enough money to post the bond? I think that hurts him more politically than if he's found guilty in New York on the hush money case, which a lot of the public hasn't bought into yet. And I think he'll be able to spin that. Part of the problem in New York is there are no cameras in the courtroom. So he's going to go outside the courtroom and spin a yarn that his supporters will still believe. I'm not sure that the criminal case will hurt him as much as the failure to post the bond as the impact of these civil cases.
Do you expect him to come up with the money tomorrow? Do you think he'll show up with it?
I've thought about this a lot, Alex. I don't know. I think he likes to have surprises at the last minute. So
Sure.
He likes to pretend, to say, no, I'm not going to do it. And then here it is, victory. I mean, he's in conversations with Jeffrey Yost. That's the major TikTok investor. And all of a sudden, Donald Trump switched his position on TikTok. Figure that one out. He also spoke with Elon Musk. So he's working it. So I think it's possible he could come up with the money tomorrow. Now, one other thing, although I don't think the hush money case may hurt him as much as a civil case, if he's ever put on trial in Washington, D.C. for the election interference case, the one that's put on hold by the Supreme Court, then Katie bar the door. I think that could really hurt him because that is a case that resonates with the American people because we all saw what happened on January 6th.
If it makes you feel any better, I have already put evac on alert. He's ready to go if it comes to that. General, I assure him.
Hey, Chapo, let me into the war room to see you, so I had to hack my way onto this frequency.
This better be critical, Willie.
Sir, come on, what is it now, please? Okay, couple of things. I'm running low on the dough. I was thinking about taking a couple of months sick leave, maybe starting today. And, oh yeah, I intercepted a transmission from Megatron.
Then send it through.
Yes, sir, right away, sir. And so I was so damn weird, going on the other stuff.
This is your last warning, insects. Relinquish what remains of the Allspark.
So who's the insect? You? What? Who's the insect?
Protect you. They were defeated on our world, and we will defeat them here.
The Megatron.
This was just a diversion. Security, please bring up. Rabbit, she's already inside. Deeds! Give me an update on that reserve. Boss readiness. What was his name? What was it?
Evac, sir.
Right, evac.
She's right in front.
We're facing a heavy sustained attack. They appear to be after the Allspark aircraft. General! We need to immediately hold on. National security advisory. Stay down. Pushing it out. There is a celebration. The amateurs are a suicide mission.
So I had to hack my way onto this frequency.